Hi guys, welcome to the channel. It's your girl Aura Strider. I just wanted to come on here and apologize for not being as present as I should be. I've been this like low energy. I don't know if it's like the winter or what, but I just have not been motivated between work and trying to organize my life. It's just been a mess. But we're gonna get to that, and I actually am going to speak about my process for how I am tackling how I conduct myself throughout the rest of this year. So 2025 was not a bad year for me. It was more of just like kind of like a slog year. Like there was things I wanted to do, but I just wasn't really doing it at all. I wasn't making progress towards anything, and I kind of looked back at my year like I just felt like I didn't do anything. So this year I decided to come up with some systems and curriculums. And so I just wanted to kind of share my process for how I got from looking at my goals and thinking about what I want to do and accomplish this year to kind of coming up with a rough system. It's not a perfect system. It's very flexible. I wanted it to be flexible by nature because I'm a very spontaneous person. I always bounce from thing. And I'm trying not to do that this year as much as I can, but I also know that my inner saboteur is going to make me bounce from thing to thing to thing to thing. So this is just to prevent that. So I wanted to get to like the first exercise I did to kind of help with organizing my thoughts. So the first exercise I did and the first step I took was to actually do a list of my goals. I don't know if you guys can see that. It doesn't want to. There we go. I did a list of all of my goals that I wanted to accomplish. And so what I did is I listed out the thing I wanted to accomplish. Like I said, I wanted to focus on YouTube, like I'm doing now. I listed out my why, and I said, I wanted it to be a creative outlet. I wanted it to share my stories, my animatics, any art that I make. I wanted to share my stuff on this platform. And so I think for me, what helped me kind of solidify those skills is asking me why I was doing what I was doing. And I highly suggest for anybody who is kind of trying to figure out what goals are the most important, figure out the why you're doing it. And it can be for money, it can be for attention, it could be for whatever reason. If that thing is important to you, then list that thing out, because that will help you get clear on why you're even doing it. And if you're struggling to come up with even a why for what you're doing, maybe that goal isn't as good as you think it is. Maybe it's something you might have to cut or move down to a later thing when you finished your more important goals. So I spent time doing that, and I listed out a lot of the things that I really wanted to do. Now my second thing was kind of coming up with curriculums of like what were my most important goals, what were my like 1, 2, 3, like my top 3 things I really wanted to get done this year. And then I kind of decided to get a weekly planner. So I bought this from Walmart. It wasn't that expensive actually, and I essentially have it week by week by week, so I can break out all of my goals, all of my curriculums. And there's plenty of videos on how to build a curriculum out of what you want to do. I don't feel compelled to go into detail with that specifically because I don't think I have any better explanation on how to do a curriculum. But if you're curious about coming up with curriculums, look that up. There's plenty of really good videos on curriculums. My focus is just kind of explaining kind of what I wanted to do and then kind of what I felt was more important, building out my personal curriculum. So one curriculum that I had wanted to do was drawing. I wanted to get back into drawing more and doing a lot more drawing. So I found a really good, and I'm gonna link it. I'm gonna link it. But I found this really good 2.5 year course. It's a long course. Now, I went to school and graduated college, so for drawing, for art, for animation. So I don't feel compelled to go start from scratch. Sorry. Maybe call me lazy on that, but I was like, I'm not doing 2 more years of drawing. I've drawn for a very long time in my life. I don't think I need to start from scratch. So for me in particular, I wasn't starting from scratch. But I did want to kind of keep I guess the best way I could say it is I kind of just wanted to reestablish my fundamentals in my drawing and kind of get me back into the mood, because I have not been drawing a lot over the last year and I wanted to get back into it. So I'm going to put a link in the description for that curriculum. But for me, for example, what I did is like I went through that curriculum that was kind of already there because it's a good curriculum for beginners. And I essentially kind of picked what I wanted to do. So like there's one that says draw 250 boxes. I don't feel like I need to draw 250 boxes. So I kind of cut it down a little bit. So I have every week, I can show you guys this. So for here, let's see. So I have already checked it off because I was actually working on it ahead of time. But I laid out every day for that week. I had to do like 20 boxes, 10 boxes. And the reason why I designed it that way is to prevent a lot of burnout. I didn't want to try and squeeze too many things in a day. So as you can see, I've split those things up. So let's just say you want to draw 50 hands. If you know you're not going to draw 50 hands in one day, split it up. Do it week by week by week or day by day by day and take it slow. And I have other things like I've been wanting to build. I wanted to draw manga for this year. I'm actually working on actually setting that up and getting all the timelines done and whatever and whatnot. And so I have in here, like I've listed out like work on the timeline for my manga, look at a book for my manga, like all these little things to kind of keep me moving forward without having to spend like one day trying to squeeze it all in. And it's all spaced out. So how long I'm performing this little curriculum, 3 months or 90 days. I don't suggest trying to do everything all year, like unless you genuinely have the time. For me, it was more important to pick kind of the top, like 1 to 2 to 3 things sort of, and really kind of focus on that. If I needed to do like some more studying or learning, that's where, you know, I have a curriculum. If you feel like you just want to add in something to do, like you're already good at drawing or you already have a schedule or you already have a thing you want to keep working on, then just schedule in time. Now, I know there's a lot of people who like to do blocking and like time blocking. I'm not good at that. I can honestly say I am not good at that. And I'm not going to pretend that I'm good at that. So what I've essentially done is just said,
here's a couple things you gotta do a day. Make sure they're done by the end of the day.
So that's how I've blocked out my thing. I don't have a specific time. I don't have a specific place. It is, here's 1 or 2 things to do a day that you want to get done. Just make sure those are done. And that's worked out for me so far. Like I do a lot of exercising. Like I have a 20-minute exercise time and I have like 20 minutes worth of Japanese practice that I do. And so as long as those things are done every day, I'm usually happy. And it's worked out for me that way very, 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 very well. So I highly suggest it if you're not a time blocker like me, because I don't block my time at all and I don't succeed in doing that. Just have something planned. Even if it's like just draw 20 hands a day. That's fine. If that is all you want to do to just keep yourself motivated and keep yourself going, do that. That's all I really got to say on this. I really stand by doing a weekly planner. Really figure out what your goals are, list your whys, and just do. I think that's been like the biggest lesson I've had to learn over the last year. What I realized is like I'm just not doing enough. So I really want this to be a do year instead of a thinking year or a sitting and praying something good happens to me year. Like no more of the sitting and praying and thinking. Like I'm gonna learn and then I'm gonna do. So hopefully this helped a little bit. I kind of rambled, but I really hope that I illustrated what I was trying to say. And I'll see you guys next week because I'm gonna be doing this every week. I'm gonna be talking to y'all somehow every week, doing something every week. All right, see you later, guys.